People that we have strong soul connections with can play a lot of different roles in our lives, and again, they are our main teachers. The contract not being complete can be that you haven't energetically closed it up, but if we do that and we're still getting that amount of signs, it's usually that there's still more to be revealed. All right, Tynelli, what do we have?
Hi, I'd love some insight into something that's been lingering for a while. I broke up with an on and off partner about 2 years ago. We wanted different things. I felt I had outgrown him and had commitment issues, often keeping me separate from his life and family. Parentheses, he's from a small town in Mexico where this can be cultural. Even though the relationship ended, he keeps showing up in strange ways. His name, references to places and things connected to him, even in faraway places like Tibet. I know we see signs when we want to, but these are beyond signs. Most recently, he appeared in a dream wearing a wig over a patchy shaved head. His family also had interactions here. This all felt symbolic somehow. I'm trying to move on and work on myself, but it feels like some energetic thread is still connecting us. What can I do to release this connection fully and clear the lingering presence from my field? Thank you so much. Love your podcast and work.
I love this question. Relationships teach us so much. So when it comes to connections we have with other people, particularly romantically, these are going to be some of our biggest teachers and our most powerful activators. So people will come into our lives to activate us in different ways, to teach us different lessons. And we're going to see this most prominently through our romantic relationships because we have so much attachment to how those are going to play out and to what it means. You'll notice that in the human experience, we tend to have a lot more expectation and assumption and attachment about how somebody is showing up for us. Obviously, when it's in a romantic relationship, we are asking them to show up in a higher capacity for us. We have more requirements for them typically than a friendship, than anybody else. So we're already working with this space where we are attached and we have a strong level of expectation. And in general, because we have such a strong level of expectation, we want to be more conscious than ever about the messages that are coming through and how things are meant to go. By that, I mean really being conscious about how attached we are to what it should look like. And I'm just speaking to this in general because it's such a big topic for people. When you are getting a lot of signs about someone in general, it can mean a number of different things. In this specific scenario, one of the reasons why you are getting a lot of signs about this person can very well be that they are still a very active part of your energy field. So yes, you can cut cords with them. You can have a cord cutting ceremony. We have a cord cutting meditation and rituals that you can do in the membership in Next Level You. So sometimes we just need to clear this out of the field. There are many clients that come to me who feel like they can't stop thinking about somebody, and when we finally clear that energy out of the field, it goes away. Often when relationships end, we don't fully energetically end them, and so the energy around them is still open, it's still flowing, and that's where we'll still think about them. And so for us to really close up the container of a relationship, that iteration of it, we want to have some type of energetic closure ceremony. You can write something down, you can burn it on a piece of paper, but something that is really in that energetic space saying, I'm fully releasing any energy that I'm storing for you, that I'm carrying for you, and I am calling back all of my energy to me. And so one aspect of this can very much be fully energetically completing the relationship, closing that up through cord clearing their energy out of your fields. Now, the other part of that is sometimes we want to release people's energy out of our field and they're meant to be in our field. People that we have strong soul connections with can play a lot of different roles in our lives. And again, they are our main teachers. And sometimes the best way to look at this is these people are vehicles for messages. So you look at the dream space, for example. Sometimes people will wonder about a dream they had where there is an ex-partner in the dream. Your subconscious your energy field can plug in the face of somebody who it's familiar with to get the point across, to evoke a certain emotion in you. When it comes to the people that are in our lives in this capacity, so you're seeing next level signs about this person, that can very well mean that the contract isn't complete. The contract not being complete can be that you haven't energetically closed it up. But if we do that and we're still getting that amount of signs, it's usually that there's still more to be revealed. Sometimes that means that we are going to have a different type of relationship with that person, or that relationship is going to come back around. Sometimes that means that we haven't fully learned a lesson. That is the main thing to focus on, because if another relationship is going to come back with that person, then it will. But we have these very interesting soul connections with people where when they're thinking about us, we will have them pop into our heads. And when we're thinking about them, we'll pop into their heads. So when people pop into each other's heads, that's never a coincidence. And sometimes it's because they're specifically thinking about you. Sometimes it's because they're feeling an emotion or going through something, and you're the person that's meant to reach out. So whenever somebody pops in my head, I always reach out. And sometimes the response is, whoa, I was just thinking about you. Sometimes the response is, I'm so glad he reached out. I really need to talk to somebody. What I'll say with this is that you have a really strong soul connection. Now, when we have strong soul connections, the way that the relationship can work, or is going to work in the 3D reality, depends. And a lot of people really attach to, I have a deep soul connection with you, so that means it needs to look like this, but it doesn't always look like that. And so that's where we have to release our human attachment to what it's going to look like and allow. What I would say here is it's really helpful to drop into the question of, what lesson have I not learned from this relationship? What is this person's energy trying to reveal to me? Something I'll often offer to people is, maybe it's helpful to think about that person like a spirit guide. What are they trying to deliver to you? And because you have such a strong connection to that person, they're going to represent a lot of things to you. When you consciously start to recognize the lessons that you're meant to learn and all of the representations that they had in your life, maybe it was about you claiming your power. Maybe it was about what you actually want and need in a relationship. Maybe it was about where you are wishy-washy, where both of your feet aren't all the way in, where you aren't requiring enough of the people around you. Maybe where you are not speaking everything clearly, where are things left unspoken, feels like a big energy related to this. And so you take some time sitting in the question of, what is this sign meant to reveal to me, the same way you would any other sign? What happens is, because it's connected to a person, we start to make assumptions in our minds about what it means. And some of those might be true, but they also might not be. So what I would say is that with this person, you have a strong soul connection. This is a really important soul contract for you. We are the way we are. We become the people we are because of soul contracts we have with different people. And so he played a significant role in your life. The energy doesn't feel complete. And so the energy not feeling complete sometimes means it's about the 3D relationship, but typically it's about the energy. It's, what lessons did I not fully learn? That person was meant to activate you to a higher truth within yourself. And so there's a moment of, where is there a higher version of myself that's trying to come forward, but did I not receive the full activation from that dynamic? And so these signs are all giving you little pings of, hey, this is still hanging out in your field. And so when we ask the question of, why is it hanging out in the field? Yeah, it could be because his energy is still hanging out in the field. He's thinking about you. You haven't closed it up. But it can also very much be because there's a sign about who you're meant to become, who you are meant to become through that. And maybe you haven't fully recognized all of the lessons that you're meant to learn. So while it can be disorienting when an ex is coming up everywhere, it's also kind of this beautiful reminder of how energetically and intimately connected we are, and how you really can't make any of this up, and that soul connections are real and they're deep. And no matter what it looks like in the 3D, from a higher dimension, we have that energetic connection, and those people continue to serve us and teach us even when we're not in a 3D relationship the way we might have expected or at all. And so I always feel like that's such a beautiful reminder of what happens on the earth plane in connection to other people, and just how powerful these soul contracts can be. But what I would say is, this person is an active soul contract and somebody who can teach you a lot. Now, sometimes people teach us a lot by irritating us. And it's however they irritate us, what it's bringing up within us, that is the mirror back of what's a healthier way for me to respond? What am I not seeing? How did I energetically allow this? What part of me attracted this in? What part of me was vibrationally available for this? And when we start to ask those questions, we are getting closer to the truth within ourselves. All of these connections that we have with other people, they're vehicles for us to do our own healing and to activate into higher versions of ourselves. And so it sounds like this person, their energy has a lot to show you. It's helpful always with soul connections to think about, what aspects of this person do I admire? What do I love? What do I miss? Those are important frequencies to pay attention to about maybe what you want more of in your life. Again, this is not about them, it's about you. And also, what are the things that frustrated me about that person? That's also telling you something about you and about an opportunity for you to maybe shift boundaries or shift expectations or learn to communicate more clearly or require more of other people. So these are all just offering reflections to you. But when we think about our connections with people as these soul energies that are here to help us learn, we can start to take some of the human attachment off, because it's that human attachment off that usually clouds our vision of the real answer. So those are some things I would think about with these signs, but I think there's a lot of good stuff in there for you.